Go to Israel, I find all these people who want to live in peace and wish the Palestinians to stop hating. When I fall through the tunnels and go to Gaza, I find all these kids who want to live in peace and wish the Israelis to stop hating them. When I go to all these other countries, I don't find anybody who wants to kill anybody. It's governments. They all work together, and they all work together. Even in the Israeli-Palestinian situation, Hamas was created by Israel for the Palestinians to vote for. As soon as they voted for Hamas, they besieged it, they put a wall around it so they could use it as an excuse to terrorise both populations, so they could bring on this whole police state. Oh my God, the Arab terrorists. Every single country in the world is being locked down because of the terrible Arab terrorists. You're all just saying, why is everyone hate us? I don't know. It's a joke. The whole thing's a joke. It's all staged. The whole thing's staged. All these shootings are staged. All these events are false flag events. All of them.
Go to the next 1,000 people and ask them the question, do you want war? And every single one.
Nobody wants war. And when there's a clue, when the governments go to war, what do? They don't bomb the government buildings, they bomb all the people.
Yeah, exactly.
I said that on Press TV a couple of months ago when they asked me about the war. The presenter was kind of shocked. When I said if the United States and the Kremlin want to go to war with each other, then the White House should bomb the Kremlin, and the Kremlin should bomb the White House and leave the rest of the people out of it.
Or arm wrestle up at the space station.
Yeah, just go and arm wrestle up in their space station.
Yeah, arm wrestle up there.
Yeah, that'll work. I reckon we get all the politicians in the world, we give them all a hammer, we put them all on Christmas Island, and they can have their war.
Go.
That would be great.
How do you so successfully stay off the grid with just those 3 documents?
How do what?
You so successfully stay off the grid.
I don't know. I just never got on it. When I left school, I walked out of high school like halfway through my 3rd year of high school because I thought this is a joke. And I've been touring the world doing all sorts of stuff ever since, but I never signed on to the electoral roll. I just never got a real job. I was a musician my whole life. I never believed in ownership, so I never believed I could buy a house and actually own it because I saw people buying these things and they were tied to them and had to pay them off for the rest of their life and they could never leave. And I thought, well, actually the house owns you. You don't own the house. This is a weird scenario you've got happening here. It's a weird relationship where you're kind of locked to this spot, paying it off your whole life, believing, going, I own it. This is a weird thing. I think there's a reverse psychology going on there. So I just never got into the system. I woke up when I was 4 years old and I thought, I've been born into a madhouse. So I just kind of stepped out. I became a musician. And it's even really weird how I even ended up being here doing this. Because Max Egan is a non-deployment, it's a pseudonym. Max is my middle name. Egan is my son's middle name. This is all on my website. I've told people right from day one, Max Egan is not my real name. So it's weird. So I've kind of created this scenario through no means of wanting to do it, whereby I've got all that got in my real name that exists in the real world as a passport, a driver's license, and a vehicle registration. Now I have no personality at all online, no existence at all online. And Max Egan has a major existence online but has no existence in the real world. And I'm able to travel on my real name passport and no one knows, it just worked out that way. I never planned it to be that way. It just worked out that way because I thought I'd write a book and put it up there. I didn't think anyone would read it. No, I put on my middle name and my son's middle name is on it to my son. And then when I put out that first film that I thought nobody would watch, I thought I'll use that name. And then suddenly I got created into this person and here I am. Weird thing. We've got to stop. We've got to stop. It's been wonderful to have you all here, folks. I hope that made sense, some of that. I just kind of winged through that. But I hope it made sense. We can do something about this. It isn't all over. We've got to get motivated. We've got to wake people up around us. Get motivated in your community. Start pointing out the health aspects to them and start questioning authority in every single way that you can. Ask them why. You have to do anything they tell you to do. Ask them why. Because you don't have to do any of it. Ask them how they're even valid to give an order to you when they're in breach of their own law, if law exists at all. Thanks, folks.
Okay, we have like just minimal time left. I'm gonna have Jack come up real quick, just for like a couple minutes. Yeah, hold on a second. Okay, we're gonna have Jack, we're gonna have Raphael talking about minutes here, and then I'm gonna do my final summation, and we're out of here. All right.
Okay, so I would like to hop the fence to get to the bottom of this, but I'm not going to hop the fence because I might get shot or killed or tasered or injured. So we see the trails coming from the engines. They're not actually from the engines, they're very likely from those nozzles that are on the pylon, which the pylon holds the engine to the wing. And so how do they get the chemicals on board? Through the loading. I can't prove it. I'd like a police officer to come with me or any of us and figure out what is being loaded. There's all the loading abilities. Lots of room. Lots of room. And then connections, you can connect. And you can see the containers are underneath the level of the passengers on a regular passenger plane. There. That is a specialized container. They may be delivering hearts or livers in that one because it might be air conditioned, climate controlled. And so that there will be plugged into the wall in the cargo load at bay. So you can probably fill something like that with chemtrail chemicals because the loaders, all they do is they have a work order. They have a work order, and it's container number 28, and it weighs 2 tons, and it goes into slot number thing for weight and balance. That's all they care. The pilot, all he knows about, he's got 200 tons to lift. He's going to Acapulco. He needs probably a full tank of gas. He doesn't know what he's loading. He's just a cab driver, a very skilled cab driver. So this alone is enough for the cause for suspicion. We have articulatable information to have the police look at those things for me and for you. I'm done.
Are you looking at your computer, Raphael? Okay. Okay, so this is our final speaker, highlighting just an important point. And then I'm going to have all the speakers that seem to be missing now, I've already left. I wanted to have everybody come up on stage so we could get one group picture with everybody. But it seems like everybody's doing their own thing. Jack?
Yep.
Is this it?
Oh.
I hope so.
I don't know. Okay, so when I'm telling you we have the hydrological cycle, that's quite a claim to make, and so I have to go back and revisit the timeline that I had the perfected chemtrail timeline from Jim Lee and chemtrail plan and all that. And there were some things. I did at one time go to the Dust Bowl wondering if the chemtrails could have been responsible for that, and I had to drop that because it didn't fit. So here I am. Doppler radar steers a storm. It happened at Katrina. How far back does it go? And I'm just starting to look at all the individual hurricanes, and I'm like, well, maybe I go back to the first named storm. And then maybe I'm like, you know what? Let me just start at the beginning of electricity. And then I got stuck at Tesla for a long time, because like I said, in 1899, he made fog so thick, he figured it out, you could send directed wireless energy to distant regions of the Earth. He wasn't interested in radar, so other people came with radar later on, but he invented UFO, zero-point gravity. And by the way, in Area 51, those were children, products of a eugenics program. The Nazis didn't get their UFO technology from the Vril, they got it from Tesla. Everybody's been reverse engineering his stuff ever since he's been dead, ever since they killed him. He was deposed for 2 days, and then he was deposed of. And of course he was old and elderly, so nobody. And who was the person that processed the entirety of his life's work and said, there's nothing here that's dangerous to anybody? After only 2 weeks of reading his torturous handwriting, said it was okay and released it. It was MIT engineer John G. Trump. President Trump's favorite uncle. Okay, so we were in the hands of these guys who later on got just a few years later, got patents for directional energy, microwave beam technology, and the military got the weaponized application of it. So I think this is one I'm trying to pull up here. I was looking at the tornadoes before the hurricanes. There was an increase of tornadoes, and so I was trying to figure out when, all that happened. There was one tornado that was odd, the Mattoon tornado in 1917, and it was a straight line, and I said, let's put Tesla in 1917. What was he doing? Oh, they shut down the Wardenclyffe Tower that year. It was a few months after the Mattoon tornadoes. Maybe it was related, maybe it was not, but I was starting to realize that I was around the time of potential. I went back a little bit further. The Wardenclyffe Tower was shut down in 1906, but in 1907, Tesla said to the North Pole explorer, hey, pay attention to the sky, I'm going to signal you, and let me know. Let me know if you see anything interesting. He didn't hear anything from the explorer. The explorer, but what happened that day, that he was supposed to get, I don't know why this isn't working here, but Tunguska happened. It was supposed to be a meteor impact, but instead of a meteor impact, there was no meteor found. It was just a clearing of trees that were like blown down. Well, the Russians weren't dumb. They figured it out. Now I was saying, okay, the technology existed. This had to have happened. They had to have rolled out. The Dust Bowl overlapped radar development. But here's the deal. It wasn't the American radar development that fits. It wasn't the German, but the Leningrad station in Russia. The timeline is perfect, and when I found the History Channel's thing of the Dust Bowl, it was high altitude winds that came straight down, and when you line it up, it goes right to Russia, with love. So they've been playing at this. I thought that they were rolling out new technology. They're just perfecting what they've been working on for 100 years, and we're just waking up. While they're running away with the show, and it's almost too late with the 5G. Is there a reason why I cannot play this?
Yeah,
Why?
it's hacked.
Oh, okay. Well, there's a 3-second video that shows the beam going out. And so when they blow out the Doppler radar, no energy can come through there. The clouds go over, or the hurricane stays at bay because they blow it out the Doppler radar. And so if you want to know where that hurricane's going, look at your Doppler radars. Where there's the weakest signal is where they're inviting it in, and then you can look and see if there's lasers. But have you all? Thanks for coming.
Thank you, Raphael. I could sit here and talk about this forever with experts like her. Okay, so this concludes the 2018 Virginia Beach Chemtrail Conference. Thank you all for coming. I want to especially thank today's speakers who gave so generously of their time and talents to so expertly spread our message. Being our first conference, we've had to deal with challenges of pioneering a new effort. I'm reminded of Kipling's classic poem, If you can trust yourself when all men doubt you, but make allowance for their doubting too. If you can wait and not be tired by waiting, or being lied about, don't deal in lies, or being hated, don't give way to hating, and yet don't look too good nor talk too wise. If you can dream and not make dreams your master, if you can think and not make thoughts your aim, if you can meet with triumph and disaster, and treat those two impostors just the same, if you can bear to hear the truth you've spoken, twisted by knaves to make a trap for fools, or watch the things you gave your life to broken, and stoop and build up with worn out tools. Those ideas bind us together. We have experienced lies, hatred, and disasters. We have heard our words twisted and our ideas mocked. but we can dream of a time when chemtrails are banned and lies exposed. We can succeed if we trust the truth, refuse to quit, and keep on fighting. Goodbye, and again, thanks for coming. But it's not goodbye. I would like all the speakers to come up. Come on, everybody. Let's do one.
Thank you, Amanda.
Thank you. Get a special furry one. That's great. But men did nothing.
Why the world funny?
My camera lady over there. Wait, this is yours. Hold on, I want to get the picture.
Lay down on the cross.
All right, y'all got pictures ready? Hold on, one side on.
Get in a little closer.
Either that or I gotta move the camera, one or the other.
Here, put the little one in the side. Get closer. We got it?
You're all in there.
Yeah, it's all good.
All good.
All righty.
All good.
That was great.
Thank you, everybody.
I did take some already. I'll take more. Okay.
And I'll say something else, atmospheric rivers did not start until 1988, after 1988, when it all got recognized. And also, the drought in California, it was already been eradicated on the west coast, or something out of 1980.
That's your bracelet for coming to the Chemtrail rally.
It was like this high pressure ridge, and all the